Well, welcome to your nightly adult entertainment. Here at the Guardian Talk Radio, I am your humble host and Hunter Main Armalite. And tonight's episode is number 67. I know, every time it's no, it's 68. All right, okay. We're one extra here. So, anyway, tonight we're going to be talking about Strand. And I came across an article that I think that you most likely enjoy, that we can actually have a discussion on. It actually made, well, I guess you could say it made me question the ability of what we're going to be seeing come Lightfall. So, but before we start all that, do me a favor and show that like and sub button a little bit of love for me by gently caressing it with your fingertips, and I would greatly appreciate it. And of course, for the main event, me. Yeah. All right, let's do this. Let me just, yeah, I'm taking notes, so what? Shut up, leave me alone. Okay. Actually, before I forget, I'm gonna turn my phone on silent. I don't need it going off, especially in the middle of the stream now. Come on now. Okay. And okay. So, if you are just joining, do me a favor. I want you to take a look at the poll there at the chat. If you are here live, if you're not here live, you're missing out. However, do take the poll. Give me a good idea of what people are thinking. And let's see. I'm asking the question: do you think the new subclass Strand be useful in in-game content? And I'm genuinely want to know, like, for real, for real. And I think in due time it will all become clear. So the reason why I asked that question. Oh, let's see. Let's see. Is it going to give me chat? No. For some goddamn reason, it won't pull up chat. Watch, I think I have to do this like every single time. Watch. Okay, so put that there. Doc, chat. Oh, that's not what I wanted. It's not doing it for me. Hang on just a second. I'm in full streamer mode right now. Okay. Delete that. Paste that. Apply. Are you gonna apply it? Paste. Let's see. There we go. Hell yeah. We have chat now. Okay, I can actually go ahead skip off this for now. And let's go to okay. So what was it? It was actually an article that was on game. Let's see. let's see, where was it? There we go. It's actually an article by Andre Termera, and it was published a day ago. So I figured we can actually take a little look-see at this. So I'm actually going to go ahead and I will actually show you the goods. If it will, here we go. And here it is, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls of all ages. Actually, first, just in case, we'll go ahead and start this event as well. Ha 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 ha. Oh, and it actually shows it. Hell yeah, let's go. Don't need that up there right now, though. Okay. This is the reason why I really need to get like an extra monitor, so that way I can like separate all these things instead of trying to keep, because I got like so many things that play right now. It's nuts. So I'll just have to, somebody will just have to yell at me if they're in the Discord. So anyways, let's see. All this extra build-up babble, not too interested in. So I guess the first part, I guess we can start here. Destiny 2 is quite a complex game when it comes to activities and how players can complete them, as many pieces of content in the game can actually be completed easily, even solo or with a small dedicated team. Kind of read that wrong. Dedicated team, because Strand is predominantly going to be traversal subclass that puts a lot of emphasis on enhanced mobility. Players should expect it to be as good for in-game content as it can be for speedruns or easier activities. Speedruns are frequently a hot topic within the Destiny 2 community because Bungie has been steadily providing more tools to players over time for them to quickly complete most of the game's content in minutes if they know what they're doing. So, and of course there's more to this, but after kind of starting to read the article, which of course I read better in my head than I do out loud, I do apologize. I'm like borderline dyslexic. But anyways, it kind of started bringing up the question: is this going to be something that is going to be good enough for like the in-game content, as in grandmasters? Is it going to be good enough for raids, etc.? And I guess the gist of this article, to kind of just give you a quick overpass, is it does ask, is it mainly for, I guess what you would say, speedrunners? Which I don't think it's going to be just for speedrunners, to be honest. I think what it's actually going to be is more for like, I think it's going to really shine in like PvP. That's where I think it's really going to be shining. Not so much as like it would be okay to use in-game content, or not as much in in-game content, but like easier content, like seasonal content and stuff like that. But you know, even like you'll see, like even the past few subclass, like the past few seasons when we got our subclasses updated to 3.0, you notice that it was more or less it doesn't, like, you're not seeing the players doing the thing. You know, they're not using particularly the subclass that is basically, I guess, what you would call the meta of the season, because of the mods that they give you within the artifact pretty much pushes you towards that, using that subclass, because it's so heavily focused on that one thing. So let's see. I'll actually let this play out real quick.
As such, adding Strand to a game that already is things like sword skating and Icarus Dash might seem repetitive, but Lightfall's new subclass is going to be an invaluable tool for this side of the game. An example comes from the recently added Duality Dungeon, which players started to complete solo in under 15 minutes with near-perfect runs, something that a subclass dedicated to traversal abilities could make even more cutting-edge compared to previous techniques. However, this is not something that most Destiny 2 endgame activities can truly benefit from, because survivability and damage are the most valuable things one can bring to the table, especially in content like Grandmaster Nightfalls or raids. In fact, having a build that consistently can stay alive throughout the various encounters and also deal decent damage to bosses is the best thing one can have when tackling hard content, be it solo or with a full team.
Okay, so after hearing that, I also had a question of, okay, so we're going to gain Strand, and I guess if we're thinking of Destiny as it is right now, you know, with like what we are experiencing at this moment, then yeah, it does raise the questions. Is it going to be valuable of any kind of, in any sort of sense? But when it comes to newer content with Strand in mind, my question started becoming, what kind of stuff are they going to be putting out that's definitely going to be a thing? Let's say jumping puzzles, let's say any particular raid. Another question would be PvP maps. So think of Strand and PvP maps. We'll start there. Think of the things that we already know that we can do with Strand when it comes to, like, you know, grapple hooking and everything like that, being able to traverse maps, which I'm pretty sure it's not going to be like you could just, you know, Spider-Man your way around the map all day and all night. You know, I think it's going to be more like, you know, you'll be able to use it, get to a certain spot, you'll have a cooldown before you can use it again, which, you know, hopefully that's the case, because we don't want anything less, or we don't want it to be where it's just constant spamming. But at the same time, it does raise the question of, okay, what kind of content are they going to be producing? Is it going to be, so we like PvP maps, you know, kind of taking a look at, if you've seen the showcase where they showed off, you know, how you would traverse the new environment that we're going to be getting from, you know, in Lightfall. We're going to be seeing that in the new PvP maps. So, okay, that's a good question, because then they're going to have to, there's going to have to be more dynamic of what's going up and down, not so much as level playing field, basically. So I guess this brings up where before people would be asking, okay, when are we going to see PvP maps come to shine where there's more higher up combat, you know, where, you know, you have your above ground, like you're up top, and then it's not linear, just flat plane. You know, there's more traversal when it comes to these maps. So that was kind of one of my things. Maybe that's going to inspire more different map designs that they're going to come with. So that's speculation for that. And then when it comes to like raids and jumping puzzles and dungeons, and you know, what is that going to consist of? You know, I mean, I hate jumping puzzles. I mean, I love them, but I hate them. I have a love-hate relationship when it comes to jumping puzzles. I'm not big on them, but hey, you know, I do end up having a good time. And you know, if I do it a billion times, then yeah, I get okay at them. But still, at the same time, I can only imagine doing like the duality, or oh, what was the one that we went for, the whisper sniper rifle, you know, that one. If we had, I wish I had Strand for that one. That would have been nice. Bungie, bring that one back while you're at it. But I think it's gonna, maybe we'll see, because of this super, we're going to see different maps being made, different environments, and all that good stuff. So let's see, I'll let this one also play right quick.
Because of this, it's possible that if Strand takes its movement-related capabilities to another level, it could leave something more important behind, thus becoming a great subclass for some niche parts of Destiny 2 rather than the game as a whole. Endgame builds in Destiny 2 often treasure a good combination of offense and defense to make the most out of every situation one might find themselves in, particularly so when champions or tough bosses are involved. In theory, Lightfall Strand looks like one of the most compelling subclasses in the game, but at this point, it's hard to judge whether it will also be worth its weight in gold or not.
Well, yeah. And I guess that's the reason why I'm kind of asking these questions, probably putting the cart in front of the horse at this point, but at the same time, it's like, yeah, I mean, it is still very early on, and we haven't really seen too much of, I guess you would say, gameplay of how Strand would operate. So I guess it would be, it's going to be kind of hard to kind of judge it right away, but it does raise some questions of what to, I guess, expect in the future. So yeah, this is, you know, article from Andrea Trauma. I'm assuming that's how you pronounce the name. I butcher names. I'm really bad at them. So anyways, there's that. I figure we kind of go over that just a little bit. And let's see here. I did see this one. I didn't really get to take a look at this one. This is actually from the same author, so let it go. Let it go. Oh, now you ain't gonna play, huh? You gonna be like that, huh?
Just a year after the huge showcase where Bungie revealed to the world Destiny 2's The Witch Queen expansion, the company came out with a trailer dedicated to the upcoming Lightfall DLC, which will release in February of next year. This is a highly anticipated new chapter in Destiny 2's Light and Darkness saga that Bungie has been building up to for many years now, and it all comes down to a showdown pitting the Witness and Callous forces against the Guardians and Neomuna's Cloud Striders. The conflict ensues because the Witness is looking for a powerful artifact located in Neptune's Hidden City, which is a kaleidoscope of neon lights and Hades-inspired locations.
I swear to God, I did not change that. I don't know what that was. What was that? No. What? I was just trying to get it to play. Why? That was creepy. No. That was straight up crazy. I didn't even hear like what was, I guess like 80s theme inspired locations. Yeah. Okay, let's see if that does that again.
Cloud Striders as a new race change everything because they show that life without the travelers.
Okay, that is way too fucking creepy. What the hell? Why did it change? Okay.
Blessing is not only possible, but it hinges on a different breed of lightless human protectors who have given up years of their lifespan to gain bionic enhancements. And yet, one of the most striking aspects of Lightfall as a whole is that Neomuna's many colors and neon signs are a nostalgic reminder of what vanilla Destiny 2 had with Titan's Ecology, which is now lost to the Destiny content vault and may never return.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I did not change that. That was creepy. Woo. Okay. So anyways, whew. that surprised the shit out of me. Okay. Let's see. Shared wisdom words. Okay. 10 best bows. Yeah. I guess Strand has a obvious connection to Death Stranding. I guess I never played the game, so like I want to know. Okay. Oh, another thing, if you're not familiar or aware, for a limited time, all expansions are free to play at this moment. But it's only for the week. So that's going to be all the way up till, so you only got really this weekend and Monday, and then that reset on Tuesday. It's gone. Got Disney 2 best shaders. Okay. Let's take a look at this. Actually, let's take this. Let's take it home. I do want to play the, I guess, the trailer reveal. Hold on. I know I probably have, I have played this at least once or twice already, but let's pause the music. And I think what we're going to do is have the Strand that we discussed in mind, and then let's see where we go. Which this whole area is fucking beautiful. Chef's kiss. Love it.
When they see this glorious end, they will come for us. To savor the fruitless struggle to its last drop. It's who they are. Let them come and see. Our shape revealed.
Okay, so here's my question. At this point where they jump out the damn window, I kind of wonder if that's going to actually start being a thing within the game. right?
Do then.
You know, where, you know, jumping out the window, you got the guys, you know, falling right behind you, you know. The epic hunter about to do his thing. Smack, you know? Like, seriously, bro. Like, is this going to be actual thing? Or is this just all flashy stuff and teasers? That's not actually going to be a thing. All right.
That is who they are. Because only in the end are we free.
Dun dun dun. Okay. So and it sucks cuz I know we're going to get more footage. I'm pretty sure, you know, we'll definitely be getting more footage to watch and to really dive into and try to pick apart all the little details. But my biggest thing is, are the maps going to be like different? I mean, I can already kind of tell there was a much difference when it came to like Witch Queen, you know, especially when it came to like, you know, how lengthy the story was, you know, and you had, you know, it wasn't basically just like glorified strikes. Basically, it was actually like, you know, a little more extended, I guess you could say. And it actually told a really good story as well. Take that off. I don't want that on there. What are you doing? God. Okay. Season haunted. Okay. Let's see here. There was a video. Hang on. This is where we kind of left off. Some of the questions. I think that would be a good way, since we kind of like already went over the whole Strand thing and trying to figure out, like, trying to, I guess, ask the question if what kind of changes are we going to see? Are we going to see more dynamic playing fields, you know, especially with the new location? I can't remember the name off the top of my head. However, as regardless, I guess, you know, asking the question is if we're going to actually see ourselves, like, there's going to be more vertical, I guess, terrain that we're going to be able to, you know, explore and all that kind of stuff, you know, do like Spider-Man. All right, I'm going to play this.
Yo.
Howdy, Flaw. How's it going? Thanks for joining us.
What's going on? All right. So last time we did this was Shadowkeep.
Actually, before I continue, allow me to put this. Should I put it at 2 time? Let's see what it sounds like on 1.5.
And Dado was here. And let's just address the elephant in the room. All right.
Okay.
There was a popular meme made. And I don't have a notebook like Dado did. I have cards. Okay. So you can't meme this. All right. So, we're safe.
We're safe.
All right. How's everybody doing?
So good. Happy to be here, man.
Awesome. Awesome. Let's go around the table and let's have everyone introduce yourself. Let's start with this lovely gentleman to my left.
Hey, everybody. I'm Joe. I'm the game director for Destiny 2.
Oh, hey, everybody. I'm Dan. I'm the general manager for Destiny 2.
I'm Taylor. I am the senior test lead for Season 18 and Season of Plunder. And yeah, excited to be here.
Hi, I'm Kat. I'm the project lead for Destiny 2 expansions.
Hi, I'm James Sy. I'm one of the creative directors on Destiny.
Very nice, very nice. Thank you all so much for being here. So let's just kick it off. We're all just talking. We're all just having a good time. What are we most excited for?
Neo Luna.
Neo Luna?
Yeah.
Neo Luna. It looks so good.
Neo
Did you guys see
Luna.
that
I
trailer?
knew
It
it.
looks so good.
I knew it was
I'm very
Neo
excited.
Luna.
I think in general, like in Destiny, we've went to very different destinations that are very nature ascendant, and I think I'm really excited to just see what a up to date, like super futuristic neon city looks like, and I'm very excited to just use the grapple on that. So yeah.
Grapple. Yeah.
Yeah, I was gonna say the thing about Newman, it's really cool because as Kat was saying, we've gone to a lot of like abandoned places, a lot of nature-scented places falling apart, overrun. But New Moon is like this. It's a civilization that the people believed in, and it was worth protecting. And it really embodies like the positivity and the hope and the optimism that runs at the core of a lot of what Destiny does. So it's a really cool place.
I think I'm excited for how different it feels from where we've been before. What Kat and James were saying. I think last year the team was sitting on a mission and we said, "Can you make a really cool swamp?" And they're like, "Okay, yeah." And then they're like, "Okay, we've gotten really good at this like swamp making." Like, great. Now make a city, right? Like now make like futuristic, like something that's never been done before in Destiny, where you feel like minutes before you got there, it was functioning, right? Like people were thriving in this place, and that's just a place that we've never been before in Destiny.
Absolutely, you guys killed it with the design. And did I see this correctly? Are we getting destructible environments in the game?
So the game is like all about like blockbuster action, big fun sequences there. And
That's actually a really good question. If we're actually going to see like, environmental destruction at a grander scale than what we already have, that would actually be really cool. So let's see what they got to say.
Yeah, there's definitely like some locations, some places where there's gonna be a lot of like things blowing up, a lot of visual flair. It's not like the kind of destructible, like dynamic destructible stuff where you like blow like a new path in the level and be able to like take a different route than you thought you could. But it really adds a lot to the mood and stuff to have like these things blowing up all over the place. It really complements the theme of the release.
Yeah, I think for us it's about really highlighting some of those moments, right? You're gonna place the rally banner down, and just a sea of Cabal or Vex is gonna pour out, and then suddenly glass is flying everywhere and brands are going right, and that's that moment that we want. And they're like, okay, yeah, I think I earned that. Those 2 treasure chests for my encounter there. I'll be on my way.
all the explosions.
Yeah.
Right.
I mean, that's the trick, right? Like, it's a war zone, right? Like, I know we've been at war, I know we've been protecting the last city, but to Joe's point, we just spent, the last year in the swamp, kind of playing detective. And this is, the battle's there, it's huge, it's larger than life, so there's things blowing up, there's the constant struggle, it's just a very different vibe. Super excited for the action of it.
Who doesn't like blowing stuff up? I do. So we talked about a little bit. Tell us more about who we're going to be encountering on Neptune. Who are we fighting? We saw some Cabal.
Yeah, I mean, I think the big thing is, the Witness has pulled in and sent Callus, right? You probably saw that concept of Callus as, in classic style, the big pyramid ship with his own sort of effigy crowned on it. And so there's gonna be like a ball, and then there's also this sort of Vex undercurrent threat of Neomuna as well. That's an interesting thing that players will sort of discover, what they've been dealing with in the past. But on top of that, I mean, Callus is back loaded up, really as a disciple of the Witness, and so
is it really him?
I could say with like 97% certainty. It's like Callus and not the robot.
Okay.
Yeah. But yeah, it's so cool because we've been seeing like a ton of stuff going on with like Kaital and stuff in the past few seasons and things. We're starting to explore like more of the backstory of like the Cabal, find out more about them as a combatant race. It's just really exciting to see that happening, like the Destiny universe continuing to grow, and Callus, like, we're gonna find out like why he's signed on with Witness. What does he want? What does he hope to gain?
Yeah, but speaking of it, like, even though it's 97% Callus, and it's a Cabal, but it's not the Cabal we know, right? Like, as becoming a disciple, Callus got some upgrades. So like, there's a different Cabal we're gonna be fighting. There's different flavors to it.
Yeah, and I think the biggest upgrade is not just the Cabal. There's another unit of the pyramid coming with the Cabal, right? And the Witness said, hey, you're gonna need some help, and that's what we call this the Tormentor. Right?
Those things look terrifying. What can you tell me about the Tormentors? I'm excited to go up against these.
They are terrifying.
They are terrifying. I can tell you that.
Okay, so I am gonna say something. Regardless of how much of a fanboy I am, it's almost like the whole Callus and his Cabal, got upgrades and all this other stuff. It's almost like, what was it? It was, like Season of the Splicer, where it was still Fallen, they changed it up a little bit, or Witch Queen, it was still Hive, but it was different Hive, but now it's Callus with the Cabal, it's different Cabal, but it's still Cabal, which is, it's fine, but I really hope that we actually see like a new enemy type at some point eventually.
Yeah, so the Tormentors are a new pyramid unit that will be joining the
I mean, I guess there is, because you got like Tormentors. So I guess technically we are getting slowly the new enemy types. We got champions, which are not really, I would say, are a new enemy type besides just a crazy name. Now the Tormentors, they look completely different. We ain't seen no shit like that. So, but it doesn't seem like, to me, I'm not really sure on the backstory of the lore, but I almost want to say, like, does the Witness actually have an army, or does he just have a bunch of these different species of beings that fight for him? Kind of a lot like the God King out of the 300. It sounds a lot like that. He sounds like that's who that's kind of who we're up against. Like, he has an army, but it's he doesn't really have like an enemy type of his own, so but yeah.
Cabal and the forces of the Witness this time around, and they're basically bosses in the battle arenas that you'll encounter throughout New Muna. They are, as you said, terrifying to fight against. They have different phases, and they're really like scary mini bosses.
Yeah, I mean, we call them like terrifying Grim Reapers, and these things are awesome because they're like the first like pyramid units that are like in the core combatant sandbox now. So that they're going to anchor like a lot of tough encounters, and they have a bunch of different ways they can hit you. Right? They have like this like side thing we call them. Like I said, they're terrifying Grim Reapers. So they throw these like side like projectiles at you. They can rush in and like grab you and stuff, and it's just like it's a completely different experience fighting them. It's a really really fun kind of like
they're living up to their name.
Yeah.
Can't wait to get tormented by some tormentors.
I like how terrifying Grim Reaper was the throwaway term. Like,
This is Grim Reaper, but worse. And we also have another new character type. What are we calling these Cloud Striders? What can we say about these guys? Are they friend, foe?
A little background on the story of New Muna. So during the first collapse, there was basically a ship that was able to escape, and that's how the society in Neptune started, and how New Muna as a city came to be. They basically have been preparing all these years to avoid the second collapse and make sure that all their citizens are safe. As part of that, there is this class of people who actually are volunteers, and it's a very different paradigm from what we know as the Guardians. The Guardians are basically chosen by the Traveler to defend humanity. With the Cloud Striders, they actually volunteer to go through a bunch of cyber enhancements and really be ready to protect the citizens in the city. And so that's a very heroic thing to do, and we're going to be able to discover more of their story and how they came to be. But also it comes with a cost. Like they actually shortened their lifespan to about a decade as they are Cloud Striders. And so we basically have 2 at a time, one who's mentoring the next one, and we're going to see some of those things play out in Lightfall.
Yeah, what I sort of love about the Cloud Striders is they sort of form this mirror for the Guardian in a bunch of ways. We think of Guardians as the only heroes for the solar system, but the people of Neptune have come up with a different way. And you take yourself as a Guardian, this 6-foot mystic hero, and then you stand next to one of the Cloud Striders, and you're like, oh, and every one of the Cloud Striders looks like they're hitting the gym, morning, noon, and night, and they have
So I guess my speculation of what may come after the whole light and dark saga that we'll be experiencing, I kind of wonder if that's going to be like a thing where we'll end up becoming the Cloud Striders in the next game or something. I'm going to put my money like right on that, or I got a good feeling about that. I think it would be more prevalent once we actually get to Lightfall, or at least closer to it, where we get more information, and especially start really learning the backstory. And if they're really leaning in, kind of pushing us towards that direction, who knows? Maybe not, because technically now, I guess you could say that the Cloud Striders are basically, now they are a part of the Light and Dark saga. However, you could make a game where it was post Light and Dark saga. So it was like, but at the end of like the first DLC or something, and then all of a sudden we go through, however many years we were playing this other game, and all of a sudden we start getting an encounter, like something happens, and then we come encounter with the Guardians, and it'd be just the whole nostalgia. And what's funny is I say that, and if I'm anywhere close, this will be so lost in the internet, nobody will know that I probably have just predicted the next game. But that does sound like a cool idea.
A very different approach to combat, maybe than a sort of more tactical view or mystic, powerful view. They're all force all the time.
Yeah, it's a beautiful juxtaposition, right? Like you have the Guardians, as I said, that were chosen, chosen for immortality and but still for defense and protection, versus these Cloud Striders that opt in to shorten their own life, the antithesis of immortality, to sacrifice their mortality also to defend. And it's interesting to see, to explore how those two different societies play out and how they approach battle and how they approach combat. It's going to be really awesome to see it play out.
That's awesome. So speaking of combat, we have a new energy type, Strand. Tell me everything about Strand. I want all the details.
What else?
I mean, it's green. You saw it was green.
It's green. There you have it.
That's cool.
I think one of the interesting things for Strand, is it's the first power where your Guardian is the first person to ever encounter this. It's sort of a thing that you're learning about, and you have mentors that are helping you learn more about it. But you're really on the front lines of this sort of new darkness power and what does it mean. And I think how that gets translated to the gameplay is this high mobility. We really love the thought of this, the cosmic web, right? Behind all of us, there's this web that connects everything. Strand is about touching into that web, and that's why grapple can grapple anywhere, right? You don't need a point. The web is everywhere. You find the web and pull it towards you. And how the different classes sort of make this web come to life, I think it's going to be really interesting for our players to discover over the next few months as we start talking more about it.
And it's been something that we've been exploring on throughout the whole campaign, is also your Guardian's journey in discovering Strand, as Joe was saying, and how we can learn and utilize this new darkness power is part of the story that we're gonna go through with players. And so it's been really cool. As a Titan, I'm very excited about doing the Titan thing and actually have hold Strand and have like a whole AoE.
What's with all the punching? Oh, that's all. Excuse me. Excuse me.
So yeah, super excited about Strand. And I think one thing that I really want to make sure that we highlight is what Joe said. Like, you don't need a grapple point to use a grapple. Like, you can actually grapple onto anything, the air or whatever you want, because we are using this cosmic web that permeates the world.
That's really good for me, because as a hunter who regularly overextends himself into like every fight, and it's just like after 2 seconds, like I gotta get out of here. That grapple has saved my life a lot of times.
Sweet. Can't wait to get my hands on the grapple. We also talked
That's going to be another thing everybody going to be whining about. Is like, oh, well, Hunter's got the get out of jail free card with the dodge, and now they're going to have grapples. And it's like, everybody's going to have grapples now, bro. Like, what do you mean?
Talked about the legendary campaign in the showcase. Is there anything new to the legendary campaign coming, or can we expect some of the classic rewards that we got last?
I'm actually surprised that there's like only one question about Strand. I guess it's like, I guess you can't ask too many questions. Can't ask too many questions. We can't let out all the secrets.
Time with the getting us raid ready and things like that.
Yeah, I think from a reward side, we're following a really similar story. I think we're going to give you the awesome, gear at the end of the campaign to get you up in that powerful band. We're going to be able to choose one of the new exotics this time. We're making sure they have high stat rolls on them. But in addition, because you're unlocking Strand during we're also going to give you a little bit of extra Strand currency. So if you do the legendary campaign, you're going to be able to earn 1 extra fragment right off the bat. But I think that the differences really start to come less in the rewards and more in the campaign itself. If you look at the Witch Queen and what we did in the campaign of the Witch Queen, I sort of like to compare that to the Corrupted Strike, right? There's like a little bit of nuance, it's a little bit creepy, there's some mechanics going on, and you got to play with a little finesse, right? Each thing is a little bit surprising. Really what we're doing in Lightfall, it's like a proving ground strike, right? You're like, hey, you want to shoot a lot of people, right? Like, you want to get in there and fight just a ton of Cabal. I think the thing, we're going to players go through the Legendary campaign, and when you hit that white screen on an encounter, sometimes you see the report and like, oh, how many? Did I do that?
No, not many.
Oh, shots fired.
I mean, Legendary campaign has been such a joy to to bring into the Destiny universe the past couple of releases. Just getting back to that that smart combat that you have to make choices. You can't just be James and rush in and then try and grapple your way out. You have to actually think about where you're gonna stand, where you're gonna aim, what your loadout is. How are you kitted out for this fight? And to see the designers at Bungie just spend so much time thinking about all the different dimensions of the encounter, all the different ways that a player can pick it apart, and the different ways that they want players to be able to make progress in it or push back on players. There's just so much loving handcrafted work that goes into designing these encounters. It's just been so much fun to watch.
And honestly, just because I'm definitely the most recent person to Bungie, I think seeing that what James is just saying about the love that goes into crafting all these experiences as being absolutely just fascinating and just endearing, honestly. As a huge Destiny fan and now having the privilege of honestly working on my absolute favorite game in the world, it's amazing to see how it all comes together. And sorry, I'm gonna stop or I'm gonna get emotional.
Sure. Taylor, what are you thinking about the Strand abilities? What are you excited for in Lightfall? What are you thinking you want to jump into?
I feel like most, except for James, we're all Titans here, right? No?
Warlock.
Wow,
No.
okay, you know what?
I think we're the only Titans, really.
I think that the biggest problem with being able to see the internal stuff is you see all the armor sets really early, and you're like, okay, what class am I playing this time?
Yeah, especially the aesthetic. That is always all about the fashion and how your abilities will kind of mesh with. I'm all about aesthetic fashion, so it's nice to kind of fit that in with your subclasses.
Well, fashion is the real in game, right?
Oh yeah.
So we love fashion, we love Destiny, we don't want it to end, but we've heard talk about the end of this light and dark saga. What does that mean? Is Destiny going away?
No, Destiny's not going anywhere. I think the easiest way to think about the end of the Light and Dark Saga is the end of a chapter in a much longer tale, a much longer book or series of books or something like that. This is a great moment in time in the history of Destiny and the history of the world, and we want to tell it right, and we want to have a satisfying conclusion. But the conclusion to that chapter, not the story of Destiny.
I think we've been for a long time, we've been setting up this, we've got this big white ball in the sky, the Traveler, and we've got these big creepy pyramids coming from space. And we want to make sure that we're always making good on those stories, right? We say, hey, you've been waiting for this. We're going to give it to you. And then we're going to go to the next chapter, and we're going to be able to move beyond that in the Destiny universe and talk about new exciting ideas.
Awesome. So Destiny is forever. You know what else is forever? Fortnite. Epic? What's going on?
I mean, why wouldn't we want to be on Epic Games Store, right? I mean, one of the key pillars of Destiny that we are ambitious role we try to hold ourselves to is we want to be able to play this game anywhere, right? And
Okay, so I guess what it would actually boil down to is Destiny. They say that Destiny ain't going anywhere. It's here to stay. And if anything, the next big thing is definitely going to continue the story, but it's ending a chapter. I would say it would be more like ending the season, I would say, of Destiny 2, and then probably going to end up with Destiny 3 next. But are we still going to be Guardians? How much of the story is really going to change? I guess we won't know for another couple of years. Holy shit.
And just Epic Games Store is such a huge step in that direction. There's so many amazing gamers that are over there on that platform. And we're big fans of Epic, we're big fans of all the games. We're super excited today to be able to bring them, just bring Destiny to all those players who may not have experienced it before. And also, worth mentioning, if you do go on Epic Games Store today and sign up, you do get the 30th anniversary pack that we launched last year for free.
Wow.
Forever.
Wow.
Yeah, so if you do that,
I'm super excited to see all the collaborations, Epic, Fortnite, Fall Guys, all that. But before we get into that, there's some other things, very exciting things that the community's been asking for a long time. LFG's coming into the game. You finally did it. Give me the story behind this.
Yeah, I mean, Dan just talked about how important it is for us, for the Destiny 2 team, to make sure that Destiny is a social game and a game that it's so easy to jump in and just either play with your friends or find new friends to play with, right? And so LFG is really a step in that direction. And so making sure that we have a really good system in game where you can jump into your favorite raid if your clan is not available for some reason, or you're actually looking for a clan, I think is going to bring a lot of those experiences to way more people than it currently does. And so it's super exciting that we'll be able to bring that in next year.
I think one of the most exciting things about LFG is the way the team is approaching it, right? And I want to make sure we have the right foundation because we want a really stellar LFG tool in Destiny. And so, what's coming first with Lightfall is this thing we call Guardian Ranks. And Guardian Ranks for us it's this journey from the absolute new light player all the way to a Grandmaster like PvE All-Star. And you can go through these ranks and it'll show you, hey, here's what you need to do next. Oh, you've mastered that? You should try some of this stuff. You should try learning about build crafting. Okay, you should try getting into dungeons. You should try getting into a little bit harder strikes. And we think of that really as the base for LFG because when you want to go to LFG, you want to know that the people that you're looking to build your raid team with, your dungeon team with, your trial team with, you want to know they're ready, right? And so Guardian Ranks really is this thing you can say like, hey, I'm ready. Like I've done all the stuff that shows I'm ready for the raid. Yeah, and I think between Guardian Ranks and accommodations, we not only have the tools that are hopefully going to say, hey, I know I can build a good raid team in this tool. We also have encouraging people to go down and say, hey, let's take this person on their first raid, right? Let's bring them up. Let's get them up to the next level of Guardian Ranks. And so I'm really excited about how the social team is addressing all these things because it's really important. We love.
Okay. I'm just going to say it. I think that the whole, I said this in a stream before or whatever earlier this week, or it was in my last one. I have a feeling that the whole Guardian rank system, when it comes to the LFG stuff, I think that's mainly for streamers, to be honest. I think that was more designed, more focused towards streamers. I mean, it sounds good on paper, but once you really actually put the implement into it, because you think, a lot of people are, who are streamers, they do those kind of things. They help people through raids and trials, those higher end content. There's a certain weapon at the end of a certain activity that you got to do, and somebody comes in and they get solo flawless the entire thing, and all you got to do is just sit back and relax and enjoy the ride. That's it. But I could be wrong, but I do feel like that's kind of pushing more towards like streamers and content creators who do that kind of stuff, which there's nothing wrong with that. But like I said, I could be completely wrong, especially once we actually see it and see how it is actually implemented.
The sort of unmatched made content in Destiny, we want to keep it challenging and engaging, but we also want to build those tools that are going to allow you to get into that content and say, oh yeah, I've done the raid, right? I've done the, I've done masters some of the coolest content in Destiny.
Yeah, I think there's like a lot of cool elements that, like just talking about where it's showing you what you need to do to progress, how to spend your time. Another property I really like about Guardian Ranks is that as you move up, it forces you a little bit out of your comfort zone. It's getting you to try new things, to maybe do new things like new activity types, to try and put yourself out there like a little more in terms of like like the aspirational content or trying to do some social things, to keep your growth and your journey in Destiny like moving forward at all times and not falling into like these like the same patterns over and over. So there's a lot of just really cool effects having like a Guardian Rank system that has on a player.
Yeah, and one of the last things I think that we're really hoping the system can do is Destiny can be an overwhelming game, not just for a new player to get into. Hey, there's so much stuff. What should I do? Also, if you're taking a break and you're coming back, and we really want the Guardian Ranks to be this place that you can go. Where you're like, what should I do? There's so much to do in Destiny. What should I do? And you can go say, okay, I should work on this.
But you're allowed to take breaks.
You are allowed to take breaks, and I think this is a really important part of Guardian Ranks is that even if you have friends who are playing, but like you're coming back to the game or you're brand new to the game, that's probably a place you can point them to. And it's like, why don't you just follow like this? And it's probably a great path for you to ramp up. And then Joe also mentioned commendations. And one of the really important things about building a game that's inherently social, and we want it to be, is to make sure that our Guardians are in their best behavior and are being super helpful to the community. And so commendations after every match made activity is actually something that will be able to reflect that, where players will now be able to send commendations to each other and reward players for their good things that they did in the game. Either they were helpful or like they were really good at PvP or whatever it was. And so that system plugs into Guardian Ranks, and I think it's going to be really a highlight of the system.
Yeah, once you get past all of the, hey, I've done all the content, there's a few Guardian Ranks at the end. They're all actually about that combination. Wow. It's all about saying, okay, you've proven that you can do all this. Now prove that you're a person that other people want to play with. And it doesn't always have to be that you're the most amazing raid leader. It can also be that like, well, Cass just like super dependable, right? She's got like a good attitude, and like you look at her lane in Vault of Glass, and you're like, yeah, it's handled, right? Like, and I can always count like what's going on over there is on the up and up.
Is that like a comic relief one for those of us who are really just good on chat?
Yes.
Good backpack. Good at riding the backpack.
That's right.
I want the troll commendation. I'm leaving somebody off a ledge somewhere, put it in the game. All right. So one of the things we're going to get our hands on, well, now, Season of the Plunder is here. Arc 3.0 is here. What do we have to say about Arc 3.0? There's so much cool stuff to get our hands on. Taylor, what do you think?
For Arc 3.0, it's touching like all things Arc, and so like one of the things that is really cool about Arc 3.0 is you can bring in older Arc weapons that have been your favorites, minus Trinity Ghoul, and like
Good
having
choice.
that like synergize with the new Arc 3.0. It's something that I think we're really excited to see everyone playing with Arc 3.0, being able to kind of build up and craft their own style, and seeing like what people come up with in the next few weeks. And I'm just really excited to see how everyone handles it. I'm really excited for like the Titan Thunderclap. I cannot wait for that.
Titans get another one-shot ability.
I get to throw my arc staff. Yes. I cannot tell you how many times I have popped that thing, gone twirling, gone after somebody, and they just jump over me. And I just go right off the ledge to my doom. Now with like being able to throw the arc staff, like I have like a whole other way to just like miss and like be totally ineffective with my super and get laughed at by everybody. It's like it's
Hunter struggles. Warlocks have a cool new ability where they turn.
I've actually done that. I actually did that just a little bit ago where I actually completely missed my target. It just went like way over there when it was supposed to hit the target. And it was like, oh my God.
Into a ball of lightning.
Yeah, why not?
Yeah.
Obviously.
Let's just put that in the game. And so also Blink is back on the menu.
Yes.
How great is that?
I mean, I'm excited for the people that love Blink. As someone that is constantly the victim of people that are in, a PvE jumping puzzle, like, oh, don't worry, guys, I'm great at Blink. And then we're just sitting there, we're on the King's Fall tomb ships, we're looking down at them, you're like,
You got it, buddy?
You sure you're great at Blink?
Oh, okay, so Arc 3.0 is here. We got
Yeah, don't take Blink into like, jumping puzzles. It sucks.
Season of Plunder, Pirates. Let's talk about the narrative theme of this season. Why pirates? What are we doing? I realize I set myself up for the why not.
I mean, yeah, who doesn't like pirates? I think that we've seen time and time again in pop culture, like we're always so fascinated with like the pirate fantasy of like action, adventure, peril, a lot of that unknown on the open seas, and that felt like we could really merge that into the Destiny universe and make it make sense because there's always looming danger in the universe. Like there's so much empty space, you don't know what's lurking out there, and I think it's also a really cool way that we can tap into some further stories about like Drifter and Spider and how they've had like these run-ins with the unsanctioned side of the galaxy, and kind of just finding a little bit more to them and some deeper dives into their personality and their characters.
Yeah, pirate mystique is just a real thing, right? Like, and when you have, to just point before, right? Like we have our sphere good, triangle bad. Like we have very clear images on what side of the battle. Having something that is neither, having something that is that like, you don't really know where it's going to go and is unsanctioned to use your words. I just think that's really exciting. It just adds a new dimension to the struggle and the conflict.
And Pirates is really like, it's classic Destiny. Like, the Fallen are Spider Pirates. Yep. It is time that we make good. When you say this is the Fallen Captain, you're like, a captain of what? And they're like, love that.
This is back.
You see that pirate ship back there?
I mean, that's a true statement, right? Like ships are always cool. Pirate ships are cooler. Like it just always are. There's a cool thing about the pirate aesthetic that I think the team just nailed for this release.
So can we talk about the aesthetic a little bit? Are we getting pirate hats? What are we going to be wearing as pirates? Are we going to get to do the full get up?
Oh yeah. We as the fashion lover here, we get the hats. We get some slick coats. I am a Titan main.
Bro, this is so much. Oh my god. I swear, there's like a whole nother hour. It looks like. Possibly. Possibly. Or maybe another like 20-30 minutes. I don't know. Okay. So anyways, I guess that kind of answers any of your questions. If you happen to be watching this in the past broadcasts, obviously. Okay. Actually, I will go ahead and end that. Okay. All right. Okay, so anyways, I guess final thoughts before I let y'all go. The Strand does raise some questions on what's there going to be coming to us in the future when it comes to like PvP maps. Are they going to be having Strand in mind, or is it going to be, kind of, the same ish as what we already have at the moment? Not really sure. So that's kind of one of my questions, and I'm actually, I am looking forward to it, and I really hope that it turns out to be like mind-boggling. I mean, I think one of the things that I would say that I would be grateful is the fact that they have made the move to make the light subclasses match the dark subclasses so that everything stays in the same line, so we know what to expect when it comes to like newer subclasses, which obviously we'll get one in Lightfall, and I got a pretty good feeling we're definitely going to get another one come the final shape, and whatever comes after that, your guess is good as mine. So, but anyways, so I figure I put it together a stream, kind of put those thoughts out there, and definitely be reverting back to this if I if we come across some more information, then I can get to, basically say, ha, told you so. Who's your daddy? I got you. I thought of that before anybody ever said anything. And here's my proof. I got a stream, a very long, boring stream. So, anyways, I'm going to go ahead and shut all this stuff down. Don't need that anymore. So, now if you're making it all the way down to the end of this stream, just know I appreciate you. I'm glad you're sticking it all the way through. Feel free to leave me a comment. Even like the stream. Try to get the word out. And we can really start bringing this stream, to life. And I know I had a stream not too long ago. It was a lot more enjoyable because I had people in chat and all that good stuff. I know you're out there, and I'm going to find you. And I'm trying to do everything I can to get to that point. So, but anyways, I hope everybody enjoys their weekend. And I'll be seeing you again Monday night. Same time. And until I see you Guardians again, y'all keep it classy.